black, the home black uniforms. And Stefan will take it from here, and I'll be back with you in a minute.
All right, looks like we got an exciting game today. The New York Empire are at full strength in their roster. The only notable player, well, there are a couple notable players, but the main notable player they're missing is actually that of Markian Kuzmowicz. Muck is currently representing the Ukraine at the Beach World Championships in Rouen, France. I am proud to report that the Ukraine has actually done very well already, having beaten Team Switzerland this morning in a large upset. But without Muck, the Empire will still go through a key number of players. We can see Keegan, Brooks, Little, Mike Drost, Garvey, Kocher, and Wiener anchoring the O-line, followed by Wodach, Aloro, Ward, Kofer, Ryan Drost, Babbitt, and Yacht on the D-line. We see a number of players there on that D-line that usually like to play offense. Yacht is only playing in his third game here with the New York Empire, but we're finally hoping that he's found enough chemistry to click with his teammates and make an impact on this team. We're also definitely going to see a lot of these players on the D-line, like Yachts, Babbitt, Drost, potentially drop into the O-line should the New York Empire get into a little bit of trouble there. But we have faith in our Empire over here, and we think that Keegan Brooks and the entire O-line squad can really hold themselves together.
Number 7, Taylor Brooks. Number 12, Matt Lamar. Number 13, Sam Little. Number 16, Mike Drost. Number 17, Matt Stevens. Number 18, Tyler Haskell. Number 21, Ross Ward. Number 22, Ian Gillen. Number 24, Harper Garvey. Number 31, Chris Kocher. Number 36, Matt Wiener. Number 77, Clark Kofer. Number 80, Ryan Drost. Number 87, Jeff
Wiener's
Babbitt.
from Brandeis.
And number 88, Ben
He's played Last Call, he's playing Exist this year. He's played Power Move in the past. He's always played mixed with club, but he's a Brandeis guy. This is his third year on the Empire.
We now ask that everyone in the audience please rise to your feet for the playing of the national anthem. One more time, make noise for your New York Empire.
All right, welcome everyone to this live broadcast of the New York Empire taking on the Philadelphia Phoenix. Starting on O for the Empire, we're going to see Sean Keegan, Taylor Brooks, Little, M. Drost, Harper Garvey, Chris Kocher, and Matt Weiner. On D-line, we're going to see John Wodach, Josh Oloro, Ross Ward, Clark Crofer, and Ryan Drost, accompanied by Jeff Babbitt and Ben Yacht. We're likely going to see a number of these heavy D-line players, specifically looking at Ryan Drost, Babbitt, and Yacht, move over to the O-line at some point. But right now, we can see the New York Empire taking the field with this star-studded D-line. Let's see if they can put a dent in the Philadelphia Phoenix's also equivalently star-studded O-line. Seeing guys like Nicky Spiva out there representing the USA men's, actually it's a mixed worlds team this year. Equivalently, on the other side of the disc, though he'll be playing O-line today, we see Chris Kocher also representing the USA men's team. It should be a sight to see.
Yeah, Totally Narda here with you and Stefan, and we want to welcome you to our stream. Hopefully it goes off smooth. Phoenix there in the white will be receiving, and in the dark are the New York Empire. We talked about this a little bit earlier, Stefan. The Empire still with a chance at making a run to get into the playoffs, but they're very far behind right now. A favorite to win the East by some folks. I think Evan Lepler even picked them over Toronto and DC. DC and Toronto look fairly comfortable, and the Royal right now, the Royale, are ahead of New York. So we'll see what the Phoenix can do here on offense. Spiva with the disc. He looks already for he's got a D there. Ryan Drost is with him. There's two men there, but he outruns him for a great play there. The Philadelphia receiver, that's probably Sean Mott, I want to say. Yeah, that kind of speed, I could tell from here. Don't even see the number. Sean Mott there showing off right away what he can do as he speeds into the end zone for the goal. Just outruns Ryan Drost and the help defender.
You know, you don't see a lot of guys out there that can actually outrun Ryan Drost in this day and age, though Sean Mott has really picked up his game. He's played the last couple of seasons with the New York Rumble. He played with Philadelphia Patrol for USAU Club this past season, has really grown into a player that can dominate on the field. He is one of the top 5 players on this Philadelphia Phoenix squad, and having talked to the coach prior to the game, they're going to be looking to him a lot, looking for him both under and deep to dominate the field from a cutting position.
And one thing that we talked to Coach CJ Ouellette from the Empire about before this game was, okay, well, what's your strategy? And it was, okay, well, we know they're athletic, and they're going to send it, and they have some receivers, and we want to challenge that. So here they put on some of their top elite defenders, and Mott outruns them all. Up to Keegan here. Keegan looking. Sends a little bit high, but it's caught by Sam Little. Sam Little fakes. Oh, he had a man wide open downfield. And now it's back to Keegan. Daddy Keegan lofts it up. And that's Chris Kocher. Kocher, and he toes the line, does Little, nice play. Now he's surveying. Kocher with the hot cut. No, he drops it back. Kocher to the swing. He's got Garvey. Garvey gets it. Garvey looking for Keegan. No, back to Kocher. Kocher back to Garvey. Nice little give and go here. He's got a hammer cut from Little, but won't take it. He's got Kocher wide open in the end zone. This should be an easy one. Oh, my goodness. Too much zip on that disc from Harper Garvey.
Waited just a tad too long there. You're right. He had his man beat by yards. Could have sailed something a little floatier out. It is a little bit windy today. You'll notice that the wind is floating from left to right on your screen. So right now, Philadelphia trying to put in an upwind point, though it is all over the place. So we'll see how this wind suits out for the rest of the day.
Big lofty one here for Sam Little to defend. Oh, and the receiver wants something. That's Greg Martin, and we know he can get up. Another big lofty over to Mike Drost. Drost reels it in, swings it over. Io, nice catch there from Keegan. Keegan looking for Garvey. There's a nice little touch on it. Can Garvey rise up? It's D'd up. No foul. Excellent D from Philadelphia.
Yeah, the disc just didn't drop quite as quickly as Garvey would have liked it to. Like I said, the wind here can be a little bit tricky over here in the pit, coming all across, left and right, up and down, all over the place. But Philadelphia now with the chance to score. Oh, and an immediate turnover. It looks like a little communication there by the Philadelphia D-line offense. Let's see if New York can put it in, only 15 yards outside their own end zone. Working through Chris Kocher and Chris with the nice little around backhand to Sam Little for the score. a nice little touch spike down there too. Sam really wanted that. He had touched the disc a couple of times in that point, really playing well. Nice little toe on the line. Finally puts it in to tie 1-1 New York Empire to Philadelphia's Phoenix. No breaks so far.
Yeah, we can see the wind really being a factor there. A lot of ugly passes there on the float, and teams kind of feeling each other out a little bit. A lot of talent on the field today. It's more so than we've seen from these teams in the past. Again, this is a must-win game for New York's opportunity, if they still have that, really, to make the playoffs here. They have to win 4 in a row, Stefan, and that 4th game will be an away game at Montreal. If they do that, they will be tied with the tiebreaker with Montreal. So, hey, no problem. You win home and here against Philadelphia, a strong team, much stronger than they've been in the past. You win at home, that's a nice pull. You win at home against Ottawa. You go to Ottawa, you beat them there. And then if you beat Montreal in Montreal, you'll be tied.
No pressure for the New York Empire there. They're only, unfortunately, winless on the road this year and 2-3 at home. They really need to start putting the pressure on. Really, Philadelphia comes into this knowing that the odds of them making the playoffs aren't that great. But New York still has a chance there. They were seeded very, very highly in the East coming on, so the pressure is all on them. Philly can play their hearts out with no worries, and we see a big shot coming up right now from the Philadelphia Phoenix.
Oh, what a read. Woo! Nicely done there. That's Sean Mott again. And I thought his man got him up in the air, but instead Mott comes over to the back side of it, tracks it down, and does a nice little nifty layout to get that disc. Is it our man? Is it Dustin Sullivan, 93? Okay, Dustin Sullivan. Yeah, you're right. 8 looks like a 9.
You got to say, that's the way that you want to play John Vodach. We've seen him jump through the roof on different occasions. He has a 40-plus inch vertical, something that's actually been measured by the New York Empire and a number of other different players. You want to push him out there, make him think that he has a chance at that disc, and then play the disc as it comes back down in the backfield. Really,
well, if that's what his game plan was on that, then he really did that well. It looked like he sort of misread it and Vodach read it correctly, and maybe both were incorrect, and then Sullivan made a great pickup on the backside.
Marquise Brownlee with a big pull, looking like it might sail. Nope, still lands in bounds. A nice 60-yarder upwind, which is no easy feat here.
Nice. Kocher, as we were told earlier by Coach Willett, is going to be striking deep a little bit. Back to Dross. Dross looking. Kocher making the moves on Brownlee. Kocher fakes, gets his man. Right up, nice and easy. I think that's Stevens. Cat Stevens scores the goal from Chris Kocher on the strike cut.
You know, Kocher just makes it look so easy. A little throw that couldn't have been more than 4 inches off the ground. He scoops it up, no problem, dipping low. Then with a nice little high release flick, not even that high, just at his shoulder height, but still perfect form on our ends. And he just makes it look so simple. Cuts back again. This is the guy that you want to be powering the offense for the New York Empire.
Well, there's a reason he's been selected to the 14-person roster for the Elite World Games representing Team USA, and it's that sort of thing. He just makes the smart play, the right play. He's always moving. He's got length, but he's not super tall. He's got speed, but he's not super fast. He's like the perfect in-between guy. He's a little bit of a glue guy, as you would call in the NBA or other sports, and that's what makes you elite. You do that really. You're an elite glue guy. You're going to make the World Games team.
That's all you need. And the USAU coaches actually came out and said, look, we're not looking for the 14 best men and women to be on the field here. We're looking for the people that will work best together and looking for people to actually fulfill certain roles. Yeah. And Kocher filled that role of a glue guy and does it better than anyone else.
So here's a little a zone look from New York. They've had success in this in the past, but Mott breaks it right there to Will Honey. Will Honey looking. And back to Mott. Mott making a lot of plays here. All over the field. And it's a little bit of a travel call. It is Honey, right? Or is it Arcata in the middle there? The big guy. Will Honey, number 42, with the disc and the ponytail, if I'm not incorrect. Honey looking. Drops it back. Swings it. Hunsaker with the disc. He dropped it back. Spava's looking. Gets it over to Honey. Sorry, Ryan Forster. Forster up to Klimkowski, right? Paul Klimkowski, yeah, turns it. Babbitt with the disc. Ben Yacht coming off his play with Minnesota Grey Duck, the collegiate 2016 champions. Wodach looking, Count's getting up high, he's got to rip it. He rips it to 6-6 Yacht. Yacht's got it. Yacht drops it for Ryan Dross, hits a goal. A break for New York. The last second desperation Huck rip from John Wodach is connected to the 6-6 Ben Yacht. Yacht throws his first score of the AUDL season with Empire to Ryan Drost, and there's the break on the board for New York.
Finally, we're seeing Yacht make the impact that we knew he had the potential to at a monstrous 6'6". He's coming off of what he likely thinks is an underperformance at USAU College Nationals, despite having made the quarterfinals. He and the Minnesota Grey Duck team had won the championship earlier that year, and they came in as the overall, I believe it was the 1 or the 2 seed. No, sorry, they were the 4 seed, still a 1 seed in their pool. Saw a lot of parity what we saw at USA Nationals this year, which is really wonderful. Oftentimes we see a couple of teams that you know are really going to push ahead, but a number of teams like Carleton Cut, seated at number 6, came in and made the finals and eventually won the 2017 College National Championships.
Yeah, that Minnesota, great program. I should say programs. The high school scene has been phenomenal there for years, so not a surprise that those college teams are breaking through. Carleton, of course, have been elite for a long time. Here's Nicky Spiva with the disc. Another USA World Games contender. You had already mentioned that for mixed. He had also been an alternate on the World Games team that Kocher was on for the 2013 look. Drops it back down. And back over to Charles Cannon, up to Charlie Patton. Patton looking back to Spiva. The zone is kind of messing with them. They're going into the wind here. So they're giving Patton that one. Ooh, wow, that looked like a shot there from Matt Lamar, but didn't get to it. Spiva looking now. Okay, this is a loose cup here. Now they got Kochanach trapped on the end zone. Kochanach makes the move. And they're moving it around. Dustin Sullivan. Oh, it pops in the air. It's a D for Ryan Drost. Nice patience from New York. They just waited for that turnover to come.
Exactly what the New York Empire were looking for.
Wodach to Babbitt. Babbitt, too far. Babbitt got tied up there. Kind of got sort of like when a D-back sort of ties you up on the line of scrimmage before you can get the clean break off, and Babbitt couldn't turn around in time for that fast one.
But great patience by the New York Empire, waiting for something that's just a little too high and floaty, which you're going to get in this windy conditions. By the way, it is getting windier by the minute. We can see things flying across the field. It is certainly gusting in those flags. And New York just needs something to hang for an extra millisecond so that when one of their big guys to come and just eat it up. Nicky Spiva trapped on the sideline right now with the double team. Ooh, barely manages to squeak it through.
And they'll say it's down. You know, on a grass field, that's definitely down, but on this turf field, that was a close one. I could have seen that staying up. But New York will take the disc. Josh Aloro looking, and he'll put it. He's got Yacht back there. Yacht tracks it down. Ben Yacht already on the board twice now. The away cut. Not a bad decision there. Throw it to your 6'6" guy in the end zone. And New York Empire quickly putting their stamp on the game with 2 breaks now.
Exactly what the New York Empire needed in this game. They really need to make a statement here saying, look, we are a contender. We can compete against the best of the best. We know that when Toronto comes back to New York in a couple of weeks, we can potentially take them down. They're not, unfortunately, going to get to see DC for the rest of the season unless they make the playoffs, but they really want that opportunity. They want to be out there, and they want to be proving that they can actually beat. At the end of the day, it comes down to Montreal. That's got to be their number 1 contender for the rest of the season.
I mean, Stefan, I don't think it's about proving or showing anybody anything at this point. It's just you got to win. It's about this team has got to win games, and they got to build confidence doing it. They don't have to prove anything to anybody. No one believes in them. They're not a very good team. They're 2-5. You're not showing anybody anything, and no one cares until you start winning. Then you're proving something. This disc will stay out of bounds. Good look there. Wodach almost had that. See if they'll come down in that zone again.
Coach C.J. Ouellette mentioned that they're going to experiment with a couple of different zones today, looking at a 2-2-3, a 2-3-2. I even heard rumors of a 1-4-2, where they're going to have different wings switching us around. Curious to see how their unique Empire strategy plays out here. They've always talked about playing a unique kind of defensive game, trying to take advantage of this huge field of the AUDL, and it's never really played out that well for the Empire. They've always had the talent. They never, especially for a zone, it really helps when you have a full club team's worth of people playing on the same team. But as we discussed in previous broadcasts, the New York Empire are made up of a number of different players from different open teams, different mixed teams from around the region. They don't get all the same guys that come and play club together to really get that cohesion and get that glue that they need to pull together a championship team.
Did you and Dan talk about that on the last one?
We talked about it briefly, noting how actually DC, because most of the DC guys play with Truck.
They play with Truck, and they've been in the same scene for some time. And here in New York, we get Benyat coming from Minnesota. We get Harper Garvey coming from Minnesota. We get Jeff Babbitt coming down from Boston. Connor Klein coming down from Boston. Sam Little coming out from Georgia. We have when you come to New York City and you're not a native, as we see one of the New York players. That is that right? Yeah, who's that coming off there? Ross? Kofer? Kofer coming off. Kofer coming on the field, actually. And disc is checked back in. There's a whistle. We're waiting for the injured player to come off. Do we know who that is, actually? Who's that for New York? Matt Weiner. Okay.
That's Ross Ward coming off the fields.
I thought it was Ross. To get bonus points for that? Probably not. Thanks for sticking with us on our less than stellar broadcast at all times, but we're trying to be with you here. So let's take a look here. Empire now have been broken twice in a row. Sorry, Philadelphia. Hunziker with the disc near the goal line. Drops back for Mott. Mott looking. The zone is pretty loose now. Now it's kind of into a man here. Hunziker finds the open man. Boosts a hammer for the score. A little stoppage in play there. Kind of disoriented New York. Left open a lot of wide open cutters there. No problem. Hunziker finds his man. Zips in the open crossfield hammer.
Yeah, it's surprising to see the New York Empire sticking with their zone defense despite only being 10 yards out. He was wide open in that corner, and Quinn didn't hesitate for a second. He knew that he had that hammer. Going downwind, no problem. He's got that guy in the corner end zone.
Well, that's interesting. That's an upwind shot a little bit. Like, I feel like it's kind of coming this way, right? Where's our flags? No, you're right. It's a little bit it's crosswind here.
It's kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
And we'll continue to see it go all over the place as we currently in a field that is actually shadowed by a highway to our left, a little bit of a hill to our right. Most of the players, actually not the players, most of the spectators are sitting on a far hill watching the game because, the commentators are sitting here in the sun.
Not me, pal. I'm under the shade. What about you? Kocher. Upfield to Little, one of the cutters. He's a hybrid. Oh, wow. Nice cut downfield from Mike Drost. And back down to Keegan. Up to, let's see here. That was Kocher. Kocher with the hat confuses me. Big hammer for Little. That's a little risky. So same. There's that same hammer we saw Hunziker do. Hunziker put a little bit more weight up top with it, whereas a little flat throw from Little down to the turf, it's a turnover. And now let's see if Philadelphia can take advantage. They're down one break. This gets them back to even. The bid is short from Mike Drost. The throw up the field from Philadelphia. Two guys chasing it. It's caught for a goal. Philadelphia has got back on the board. I believe that's Dustin Sullivan again or Eric Nardelli.
You got to wonder about that hammer from Sam Little. It almost looks like for a split second he confused one of the refs in the end zone to be one of his own players. The trajectory there was headed right for that ref in the corner. I know Sam absolutely has that hammer. It's something that he wouldn't contest again. But maybe he'll think about it another time, especially in these windy conditions.
Well, I just think that the decision-making there is errant. It's like it was open over there, but you're talking about a 30-yard upfield cross. It's really unnecessary. He didn't even look to the open side before he boosted that. So, and you're able to move it smoothly. When Kocher's on the field and Keegan's on the field, your resets are going to be there. So why do that? It just doesn't seem necessary. Especially on an important point when all you got to do is hold, score.
All right, O-line needs to score. They can't, unfortunately, afford to be quite that flashy with their plays.
Okay, big rip to Kocher from Keegan. Kocher reading it, and he's got it. He's got it up in the air. Kocher drops it back for Mike Dross. Dross back to Kocher, tries to toe the line. Isn't quite there. He'll get the assist to set if he plays this right, and of course he does.
And that's Frank Wang with the goal.
That's why you take Chris Kocher. So there's your receiver right there. Keegan will put that. Kocher will get it and collect the assist on the other end. And this game is all evened up. It's 5-4 New York.
Kocher's still able to make a big play in front of a guy that's at least 3 to 4 inches taller than him, able to position himself perfectly to the point where he knows that his defender isn't going to be able to get that disc, and he has a perfect read to come down with it at his maximum height. See the New York Empire D-line gearing up. John Wodach with the disc, Clark Kofer, Ben Yachts, Ian Guerin, that's Jeff Babbitt, Sam Taylor, and there's the pull. And of course our favorite, Fat Matt Lamar. Is it echoing? Do you have the stream up? Empire coming down in a nice little junky D. Oh, and just out of reach. Sam Taylor almost putting his hands up, knowing that he can't quite get there. But that was a laser into the end zone. I don't think anyone had a chance at that disc. Ben Yacht with the disc. Oh, another call there by the refs. CJ's biggest point about Ben Yacht before broadcasting today was that he likes to shoot it. We always think of Ben Yacht 6'6", more of a downfield player, but he's got a cannon on him.
I love that. As a tall man who likes to throw it downfield, I'm all for that.
Ian Guerin with the disc, faking under. Not a lot of options for Guerin, but he finds, John Wodach with an unfortunate drop in the middle of the field there.
Little pressure from Mott, but that's a catch Wodach should make. Mott goes deep. Spiva will put it. Oh, Mott came under. Mott had the run on him. Wodach fast too, but Mott has shown that he could do it, and Mott cut his cutoff just as Spiva was winding up for that inside out. And no dice.
Just in that play, you can tell that Spiva is looking for Mott deep in this game. He had complete faith in him. A big backhand over onto the flick side. Unfortunate miscommunication there, but there'll be plenty more opportunities in this game for them to connect. Empire with another D on a hammer.
Klimkowski looking. And the Pensbury guy, Klimkowski, also a Junior Worlds player. Finds Honey. Breaks the mark for the goal. Well done. The long arms of Will Honey get past the long arms of Ben Yacht. Yacht arguing was the push-off. Isn't going to get the call. And it's a goal for Philadelphia to even it up at 5.
That puts them even on breaks. Both teams have shown they really do have the firepower to match each other. There are a number of athletes. Again, we've seen so many players come down from the New York Rumble, the likes of Marquise Brownlee, Quinn Hunsaker, Sean Mott, to be paired with a number of guys from the Philadelphia Phoenix team. The biggest pickup at the beginning of the year for them was Nicky Spiva. But they had a whole crew of former Rumble players. I forgot to mention Scotty Zhu, who is absolutely incredible for them. Really come in and pulled this Philadelphia team into what they hoped would be a real contender in the East.
Sorry, folks, if you're hearing double audio, that's probably just on your side. We're all good here. I'm just kidding. We don't know what's going on, but we'll hope to fix that. All right, thanks.
Back
Garvey
here with the O-line.
Garvey will put it Oh, nice setup on this play here. Stevens in the end zone for the goal. I love that setup there. A delayed cut, or just an excellent cut from Stevens, but he had a lot of yardage there. I don't know what he did to juke his man downfield there, but when Garvey's got the disc and you're letting your man streak to the end zone like that, you've been juked.
Stevens is one of those players that really likes to conserve his energy downfield. He tends to jog for most of the points and then explode into a point where he can actually roast almost any player on the field deep. He is known to find the end zone at any different point, force side, break side, hammer side, whatever it might be. But he's really, really great about conserving his energy. You're never going to find Stevens sprinting all out down the field for every single point during the entire duration of that point. He's going to be waiting around, waiting for his moment, positioning himself perfectly to make a cut, potentially a duke in there, and then hit the end zone in stride.
Nice pull here. I like this deep roller. It landed in and then rolled out. He's going to have to take it at the line here.
Gives the Empire enough time to get down there and set something up.
But they're kind of jogging, unless that was the intention. Now they're crumbling into a tight one. But Spiva, that was close on the line there for Mr. Greg Martin. But Martin stays in. Zoo shoots it over to Esser. Esser looking. This is a loose cup here from New York. They have one rabbit. And right now that might be, that's a Loro there. Number 3 is the rabbit. Now he's in the cup right there with Ryan Drost in the center. Zoo slips it over. Oh, nice look there. Quinn Hunziker is open now. He's got Brownlee downfield. Oh, he's going to put it. Crafty throw. And it's the D is there, but Brownlee gets to it. And Brownlee lofts it up for the goal to Greg Martin. A quick release and a fire shot from Quinn Hunziker to Marquez Brownlee. The defense was slow to react. Benyat can't believe it. Brownlee collects it, throws it in for the goal, and this game is looking pretty tied up yet again.
Those Garden State Ultimate guys certainly have chemistry. Though also worth noting, Quinn Hunziker this year has signed, I guess, can you even call it signing a contract for USAU club? He will be playing with Philadelphia Patrol, joining Sean Mott for the season.
Yeah, Quinn's a real athlete. God gets up, and just a kid that's just improving his game every year and working on it, you know. So Quinn Hunziker did a number of games with the MLU that I was broadcasting. He could make amazing plays up in the air, but a little bit of a liability with the disc in his hands on short yardage. And if he keeps on working on that, his reliability, he's got a high level to reach that he's capable of reaching.
He's certainly known for his general athleticism, but even there, we can see an upwind, crossfield, 45-yard IO backhand. That guy's still a thrower.
Yeah, he's got it. He had a funny grip when I played with him at Potomac. He had a unique grip that I was like, I don't know, Quinn. I'd love to catch up with him at some point after this game and be like, let's see if you're using that grip. I mean, basketball players, you got a unique shooting touch, rotation, and it works. Hey, it works. Otherwise, not so good.
That's why I always question a former teammate of mine, good friend, Lionel Lonbon Winninger, still manages to throw his flick using a backhand grip. So he never actually has to change. He always keeps 4 fingers on the flick side. He claims to switch over to a 2-finger grip whenever he wants to put a little touch on it, but he's still got an 80 to 85 yard flick hook with that backhand grip.
That is crazy. It's a great example of improper grip, but it works.
At the end of the day, whatever works for you.
Garvey. Up to Kocher. Back to Garvey. Oh, Kocher gave him the hot give and go, and Garvey didn't hit him. Oh, wow, this is a mistake. Marquez Brownlee there, but Babbitt. Marquez hoping it would be short. Keegan put up a prayer. Babbitt answered it by going up and getting it in the end zone with 2 hands.
Yeah, can you imagine what it would be like to have a player like Jeff Babbitt on your fields, knowing that you can put up almost any disc and he's going to come down against it, against Marquise Brownlee, of all people, who is incredible in the air. He can get up, but against Babbitt, he just wasn't in the right position. Babbitt barely even has to leave his feet, makes a perfect read, and comes down with it in the end zone.
Yeah, it's tough to know where to give credit to, and I mean, clock was running down there and Keegan just kind of put it up there. Marcus was in position and just a little bit enough wind to sail it over his head, and he did the right thing. Babbitt did the right thing. Keegan got lucky. on Father's Day, Sean Daddy Keegan gets lucky. Let's just say that. Into the first quarter here. Our score is not currently broadcast on anything, but it's 6-5. Sorry, 7-6.
Halftime exhibition game for your entertainment. Once again, we'd like to wish all the fathers in our audience a very happy Father's Day, and thank you for spending your special day with us.
Stay up during halftime. Don't leave halftime. This is the quarter, but I'm talking about we're back. We're not up. We're not up.
And we're back for the second quarter of this exciting game between the New York Empire and the Philadelphia Phoenix. New York Empire currently lead 7-6, receiving on offense. Harper Garvey with the disc. Player streaking deep. Kocher coming back under, but that's Sam Little. Oh, a little overthrown for Sam Little. Scott Jou picks up. A little upwind to Eric Nardelli. And but a close bid by Chris Kocher, but the goal for the Philadelphia Phoenix.
Yeah, Robert Roos there gets behind Kocher. Kocher throws his hat. Actually made a bid at it, but his hat came off as well. Too far away. Mistake from the Empire cost them. And this game is tied at 7s. You know, it's those little things, and when it gets in your head a little bit, that's the thing you worry about with the Empire. Like, are they able to put a team away? Are they able to stay focused for the entire game? You know, when does it start to become when does it become a mental thing? Here's Kocher, you know, one of the world's best players, and he's kind of slowly going back to the line because he thought maybe he'd get called off, or maybe he was disappointed in himself. Fairly so, let me say, right? But you don't want it to let it affect your future plays, right?
No, and the caliber of player to which Coach Kocher is will actually be reflected on whether or not he's able to bounce back right now. If he's able to get in and do what he does best, be that glue guy, constantly come under for a 15-yarder and then swing. Do that over and over again until the New York Empire can put in this upwinder.
Up to Harper Garvey. Garvey surveying the field. Kotcher, gosh, he does have good wheels, I tell you that. He had a breakdown field there. Swings it over to Pippin. That's Auletta, number 4. Auletta, the big lefty, gets it upfield a little. Looks for Drost. Drost gets it, goes down to the turf for it. Drost upfield looking, gets Kotcher. Kotcher slings it. He's got Stevens looking for his second goal, maybe even third, and Stevens gets it. Stevens releasing at the perfect time. That's twice he's connected already with Chris Kotcher. That is his third goal. He had the other one from Harper Garvey. And Stevens right now is leading the way for this New York Empire team. That's one guy whose crisp cutting is making a difference.
And there you have it. See, no hesitation from Chris Kotcher. A little bit of an upwind there, but he knows that Cat Stevens has his man deep and is ready to put it to him in the end zone.
So Empire by 1, 8-7. You know, and again, we talked about this at the Open, but we'll bring it up again. It's a must-win situation for New York. They lose this game, they're basically out of the playoffs. I don't want to say basically. They do have another chance. They'll have to win out the rest of the season.
Yeah, beating a team like the Toronto Rush seems a little bit difficult right now for the New York Empire, coming in at 2-5. The New York Empire, correct me if I'm wrong, have never actually beaten the Toronto Rush. They are currently 0-16, 0-17 against that rep franchise.
That's correct.
I don't know if this is their year for it, but if they make the playoffs, as they still hope to do, they need to come out strong against teams like this, Philadelphia. They need to come out against Montreal. They need to come out and beat the Outlaws in the next 2 weeks.
Great strike, great setup there on a series of plays there from Philadelphia to get their man open in the end zone. Mott back to Mott. Mott looking. Finds gets it in the end zone. Will Honey, Mott, Honey collect the goal, and it's good. The Pensbury connection. And Philadelphia will not go away, nor should they. There's a lot of talent on this Philadelphia Phoenix roster. We talked about this. This is a franchise that has never beaten New York. New York's never beaten Toronto. Philadelphia has never beaten New York. And that's going to change. And I don't know if it's going to change this year or if it's going to change today, but it's going to change and probably pretty soon.
You know, something that I found to be really interesting that clues into a lot of points we made before. We often see the most successful AUDL teams are those that stick together for the club season. The Minnesota Windchill this year are doing phenomenally well. A lot of those guys played together on Sub-Zero. Toronto Rush, DC Breeze, we're talking about Goats and Truck Stop down out of DC. They all play together all year long, and they have that kind of connection. When we're looking at this Philadelphia team, we also see a number of different teams make up this AUDL franchise. And unfortunately, we did see I don't want to call it the death, they've been put out to pasture, though. The Philadelphia Spinners are no longer part of the the professional scene since the MLU isn't currently around. And a lot of those high caliber Spinners players have not made the jump over to the Philadelphia Phoenix. I wonder if they're taking a year off, trying to really focus on patrol instead, but there are a lot of great players in Philly that are not currently on this roster.
Yeah, so long story short, this team is only going to get better. Wing gets it over to, I think that's Sam Taylor to Sam Little looking, drops it back to Taylor looking, this guy's man in the middle. That's Kotcher everywhere. Kotcher looking for Frank Wing. This is a surprising offense. They don't have a good deep threat down there, but Keegan with the bid, he's got it! What a bid and layout from Sean Keegan. Body hits the ground first, arm arch stretched, and he collects the disc. Amazing play. Sean Keegan with the grab.
Keegan staying down for a couple extra seconds. Let me tell you, this turf is not soft. It's pretty much layer of turf, concrete. Not that much fun to play on and less fun to bid on, but Keegan makes a phenomenal grab down there in the end zone.
He had some ligament damage on his wrist, so I don't know if that's why he's slow to get up here. We're going to hope he's okay. He did come back from also a knee surgery earlier on, a meniscus surgery this season, so hoping he's okay on that hot bid there.
Yeah, meniscus surgeries and knee injuries in general tend to plague Ultimate Frisbee players more than any other sport I've ever seen. I personally have come back from an ACL and meniscus surgery myself and know that at least a third of the team that I'm playing on have also had similar knee issues. I wonder if it's in part because Ultimate Frisbee players maybe are a little more reckless with their body. You rarely see other sports out there where they're constantly throwing themselves around. or maybe we're just a little less prepared than others. We have professional teams here, and I have to say the New York Empire have done a phenomenal job this season bringing in trainers to every single game. They've had a massage therapist on the sideline ready to make sure that each and every Empire player is warmed up and ready to go at any given time. But in general, we as Frisbee players don't do a great job of keeping our bodies in the best of shape. We tend to take a couple of months off here and there. We don't do our stretching after practice or after tournaments. At the higher levels, people are much better, but throughout the scene, we see far, far too many injuries. So to the fans out there listening, make sure you stretch. Make sure you properly warm up. Get a pair of resistance bands. It helps a lot. Again, another miscommunication between Spiva and Hunsaker. That throw just a little lower than he expected. Spiva thinking Hunsaker was coming at that full on, but he was actually jogging in towards the disc. New York Empire now have a chance to convert on D. And a foul there from William Hone on John Wodach as he comes down with a great grab. Fat Matt Lamar in the backfield waiting to pick up the disc if the dump reset is needed. A nice little round to Tyler Haskell. Great fakes by Haskell, constantly moving his player around. And a grab by Fat Matt Lamar, trying to draw the foul, and he does.
Timeout. Timeout, Lamar. Timeout for the New York Empire, so no foul call. Instead, with the clock kind of running down there on the stall count, Lamar calls a timeout, and they'll regroup and see if they can collect the score.
The timeout is something that really differentiates the AUDL from USAU Club. I'm wondering, Tony, what do you think about, what would you do as the coach of the New York Empire right now? You just had your D-line on. The D-line's gotten a turn. They're working it well. They haven't given them another opportunity. Do you bring in your starting O-line 2 yards out of the end zone to put this in and get it back up another break over the Philadelphia Phoenix?
Unquestionably. Your D-line's out of flow, out of rhythm. There's no reason to keep them on. If they're in rhythm and they don't call a timeout, then let them stay out there if they could do it. Otherwise, put Chris Kocher on there, your all-world player. Put Harper Garvey, put Sam Little, put a big guy, maybe keep Yacht out there. I would absolutely sub, and they're not.
Looks like you see a couple of guys
there,
coming
Kocher's
on.
in.
You see Kocher, you see Garvey, you see a lot of these offensive-minded players. You see Little, as you mentioned. And a lot of this comes down to what we were talking about before. They have O and D lines, but they will not hesitate to bring the big boys over. We see Jeff Babbitt surprisingly coming out of a handler position.
That's unique. And he's being guarded by another handler. He's being guarded by Scotty Zoo. Scotty Zoo's given up a half a foot there.
Yeah, they're just hoping that Babbitt can come in and beat his man in a one-on-one.
And he does.
There it is.
Wow, that was really interesting, right? So Babbitt just beat Scotty Zoo to the short cone, but Scotty can't give up the. I don't know, what are you going to do? I mean, I would let Babbitt go deep on you because he's going to score no matter what, that position.
Being double teamed by a second Philadelphia Phoenix player just standing there. So maybe there's a little miscommunication between Scotty Zoo and that guy poaching in the lane, thinking, you got him now. Oh, but he's coming back under. Yeah. Clearly there was something else going on. And Kocher helping everyone out there by streaking in front of the disc, really just mixing things up. No one knows who is actually guarding what player at this point. And he comes down with a goal.
Well, interesting selection there, and they do get the goal, so that is a break for New York. The timeout call gets the disc over to Harper Garvey. Nice substitutions there by CJ, and the play call, which is isolate Babbitt and get it to him in the end zone.
We see a lot of the same players staying out here. John Wodach with the disc, looking for a pull. We see Josh Aloro coming on, Ben Yacht. Is that Harper Garvey? No, that's Tyler Haskell staying on for another D point. Matt Lamar, Ryan Drost, Jeff Babbitt, and Ben Yacht jogging in the end zone, bringing up the rear.
Well, it's a zone, so it gets a little loose here. The wind has died down, so we'll see if the zone is as effective as it was in the first quarter. Mott with the big fakes. I can tell from here that Sean Mott, the way he fakes the disc. Scotty Zoo. Zoo looking honey there. A lot of people look like they're standing around, and it's really just about creating spacing. You want to pull your defender, if you're the Philadelphia Phoenix, you want to pull your defense to one direction and open up space in another place. Whoa. Tight one there, but Honey gets it. Gets up to Hunsaker to Brownlee, almost too far, but Brownlee gets it. Brownlee serving, Wisely drops it back. He had no one. Spaiva looking. Now it's crumbled into man. Man defense from New York Empire. Alaro guarding Scotty Zoo. Mott with the disc. Back to Zoo. Zoo drops it back to Mott. Mott looking. Slings it. He's got his man upfield. That's probably our Mike Arcata. And let's see where he puts it. Big hammer to Marquez. Babbitt's there. Marquez will bid and won't get it. That's the right play. He went to the far side with that one, but didn't have enough hang time for him. And it's a turnover for Philadelphia.
The zone working again for the New York Empire, despite there being no wind to speak of at the moment. We'll see if it picks back up again in a couple of minutes, but they were tight the entire time, really forcing over 50 throws during that point, and exactly what they wanted. Eventually, you're going to get one throw that doesn't quite work and result in a turnover.
So there's Alan Hewells that threw that throw, not Mike Arcata. My apologies to Mike Arcata. Here's a big rip now from Josh Aloro, looking for Ben Yacht. Yacht trying to get position. Yacht's got position, but he can't get it. He gets it, gets not. It's bobbled around and dropped. Very exciting turn of plays there as Alan Hewells gets it back for Philadelphia, holds his own against Ben Yacht.
Ben Yacht was really hoping for some sort of foul call there. He's got experience in the AUDL, and he knows that these guys can be a little trigger happy when it comes to calling fouls. But
right, and thank God they didn't call a foul because it wasn't deserved had it been called. I don't feel. Sean Mott looking for Scotty Zoo deep, but holds it. Ben Yacht is hanging out back there. Now he's got looking for. Oh, he's going to get this D. Ben Yacht wisely comes under, as didn't realize that Yacht was there. Alaro puts this one up. It's going to hang a little too much, and it's D'd by Hunsaker, but popped in the air to Drost. Ryan Drost got it. Gets the disc to Wodach. Wodach looking for Babbitt. Hammer to Alaro. Oh, it's off his hands. Came in hot. Came in from the other side. You know, you want to sit those hammers down. You don't want to come in that fast. When we say it's coming in hot, it's coming in a little too fast for you to get your body around to it.
A little tricky. I feel like the wind picked up just in time for that hammer to really not be the ideal throw at that moment. Despite having Ryan Drost pick up the trash during that point, Empire still unable to come away with it.
Do not leave your seats. Do not hit the field because we have the teams from Brooklyn Latin and from Stuyvesant.
Philadelphia with the timeout.
Exhibition game all for you. And we'd also like to wish a very happy Father's Day to every father in attendance. Thank you for spending your special day with us and your New York Empire.
All right, Stefan.
Remaining in quarter number 2.
All right, New York coming back out here on D. We can see Ian Guerin on the mark, the fireball that he is. Josh Alora a little further upfield. John Wodach. That's Ross Ward in the middle. Clark Kofer, Jeff Babbitt, and Ben Yacht in the corner is the big men. Mott upfield to Brownlee. Brownlee not afraid to put it deep. It's Ben Yacht. A great contest, but Ben Yacht comes down with it. A great snag in the end zone. Working it upfield, that is John Wodach. Oh, a call there by the referees. Looks like Ben Yacht might have been called for a travel. Used to having to be able to walk the disc up. Apparently he set his pivot foot early. And the disc is live. Josh Aloro in the back of the New York Empire end zone. Up to Clark Kofer. Clark waves off even Guerin. John Wodach with the big grab. Not sending it deep. Instead shooting under to Ross Ward. Ross pivoting, looking around for some sort of break dump. Babbitt with the disc. Ian slides in with a nice grab. Back up to Babbitt. Babbitt looking to Clark. Clark to Josh. And Josh into the end zone for Ross Ward for the goal. You know, I had the privilege of hanging out with Josh Aloro just a few minutes prior to the game, and he told me his mantra to warm him up and get him mentally in the game. He says to himself over again, hoops and scoops, hoops and scoops. That's what he's about.
I don't know what that means.
I'm not sure he does either.
11-8 is your score right now as the Empire are starting to pull away with a couple of breaks here in a row.
Number 2, 11-8 is the score. Your New York Empire.
Hoops and scoops, you say?
Hoops and scoops. There might have been something else out there that rhymed with scoops, but we won't talk about that on the air.
Is it poops?
It is
It's
poops.
poops, right?
It's poops.
Yeah. All right. I don't know. Still don't know what that means. So
We're still trying to figure it out.
Scotty Zoo looking. Hunsaker waiting. Junkie set here from New York. It's just really a man, actually. Maybe it looked like a junk to Philadelphia at first. Hunsaker will boost it. He's got number 4. Who is that? Greg Martin can't get it.
What a rip from Hunsaker.
And Martin can get up. And it just sailed a little bit. And now another break opportunity for New York. There's Sam Taylor. He lofts it up. Number 25. Slings it over to Aletta. Back to Kocher. He'll put it. He's got Matt Lamar in the end zone, wide open. And he sprung free and dropped the disc. Unbelievable. It was pretty much all there for you.
More evidence that fat Matt Lamar really needs to start laying off the donuts here.
Well, I can't blame that one on heavy setness. I think that's just a lack of concentration at the last second, And also, you really want your teammates to be telling you you're wide open, take your time. Why jump up in the air? Why do anything? Just wait for that disc. You got nobody within 15 yards of you. Instead, Philadelphia with the disc. Quinn Hunsaker. Looking. Drops it to Mott. The Scoober. Mott. Back to Martin. Crossfield. Whoa, D'd up by Babbitt. No call. He kind of went through his guy. Just kind of clubbed him and kept running.
That's an interesting no call by the refs.
Kocher wants to throw to him, but Babbitt doesn't cut. I guess just out of kindness. Kocher sends it back to Frank Wang. Back to Kocher. Yeah, I'm surprised Babbitt didn't get the bookends on that one. Sam Taylor. Taylor looking. No one's cutting. Kocher's trying to do everything. Taylor finally finds him. Really slack offense here from New York Empire on an important point. I mean, they're all important. Drost. Lamar. Aletta in the end zone. Aletta will come under. Now Kocher streaking. That man is not tired. Aletta, but now there's a poacher in Martin. Oh, but it sails up too high, and Babbitt is there. Well, you'll take a lucky break or two, and that's exactly what New York Empire gets, is Babbitt cleans up the overthrow.
Really interesting point there by the New York Empire. I'm not sure they were entirely clicking on their offense. A lot of stall 5, stall 6 dumps, and you can see that eventual throw go up. Definitely on stall 6 to Pippen, and they were lucky they had Jeff Babbitt waiting around in the end zone to scoop up the trash that was left behind.
Just one of those discombobulated points. It happens in all games, where you get a drop in the end zone and then, I don't know. That's another question. Are the Empire hanging their heads? Your teammate makes a mistake like that where he drops a wide open goal, and do you get upset? Do you get kind of frustrated? Everyone does, and it's a matter of how you deal with that.
Up by 4 points now. This is not a time for the Empire to let up their heads. This is a time to really stick it to them, keep driving, keep pushing. We can see the entire starting D-line here for the New York Empire really wanted to drive it home and prove that at the end of the day, the Philadelphia Phoenix don't have a shot. But we'll see if their Philly O is able to respond appropriately.
Well, Philadelphia's Coach Sam Morgan filling in for Coach Eileen Murray, who is at Beach Worlds right now, coaching the mixed team starting tomorrow. But they have put some new looks on their O-line. Oh, it's a drop. It doesn't work as Forster unable to handle it. But I saw Lesser out there. We don't see Nikki Spaiva. We don't see some of their O-line starters like Kimkowski. So instead, New York will have the disc. Josh Oloro, a handler normally for the O-line. He's looking. He's got Wodach, normally also a handler for the O-line. Switch over with the coaching change up to Mike Dross. Mike Dross puts it into the end zone. It's a goal to Matt Lamar. He makes sure of this one. And it's a 5-goal lead for the Empire as they're really streaking away in the second quarter. They have outscored Philadelphia now by 5 goals. I'm not sure if Philadelphia scored in this quarter.
No, they 1 goal in the quarter, but they're outscoring them 5-1 at this point.
Yeah.
Really pushing ahead. Empire leading 12-8.
Unbelievable turn here as the Empire have stretched it. And the clock is kind of winding down. We don't have our scoreboard up, folks, so we apologize for that. So we don't know how much time is left. The scoreboard here at the facility is down, so we're unable to indicate exactly how much time is left, but we'll stay with you and tell you as we go along.
Technology can be a little tough down here in the pit. We probably don't get the best sort of reception, but we make do like all New Yorkers, trying to get whatever we can out of a best situation and drive home.
We're very crafty folk, the New Yorkers. Very hard at working and putting things together to make them to work. Yeah, I mean, usually the New York style is you just scream at someone till it gets done, you know. I mean, maybe that's old.
To be fair,
school.
that's exactly what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Go,
I'm
go.
screaming on the inside. I don't know if you realize that.
Timeout called by the Philadelphia Phoenix, trying to get themselves back together. Now down by 4 points. They need to make a statement. They need to get back out there and prove that their O-line can do what they're good at.
Well, on the last point, they didn't even bother to put their O-line out. So this time they are. Nikki Spaiva going out there. Klimkowski, Scotty Zoo, Sean Mott. See if we can read these numbers from a distance here. Marquez, of course. Marquez, who I don't know if you follow his Instagram account.
I'm more of a Twitter guy myself.
Okay, if we follow his Twitter.
MKBHD is still.
Okay. We saw him with Casey Neistat, who does these, you know, sort of man about the street videos that are big viral video hits. And what Marquez, our man in the middle there for Philadelphia, was hanging out on a private plane with Wesley Snipes.
Was he wearing a Frisbee jersey while doing so?
He was wearing an Eric jersey.
There you go.
Yeah. Early recognition is critical. Of course, that's Guarantors, Jim Guarantor, one of our sponsors, one of the league owners here, actually the owner of the Philadelphia Phoenix. Started an organization for cancer awareness. Early recognition is critical, Eric.
Eric goes across the country, primarily targeting middle school and early high school students to teach them about your bodies, how to be aware of how your body looks, how it feels, and be aware of those early warning signs of cancer. Doing a great job out there, making kids really understand what it is to potentially have cancer and what that looks and feels like. So thank you, Jim, and thank you to the Eric team for helping everyone out.
Here is another version of the New York zone. And the wind has picked up Babbitt. Oh, he gets Marquez up in the air as that just popped up. And Babbitt, with a fast run at it, might have gotten Marquez up. And now the disc is in the Empire's hands. And they're moving it quickly. Ben Yacht, who likes to shoot it, as you say. And had Coffer underneath, but couldn't find him. Scoobers up to Babbitt. The clock is kind of running out. Babbitt now looking. Babbitt double teamed. He's a big guy. Drops it under. Do we have a call? It's a timeout call by the coaching staff on the New York Empire. C.J. Willett had run over to the sideline judge, James Kalinske, and asked for the timeout, and they get it. So Babbitt will check it in, and we'll be back with you shortly here. What would you do here, Stefan? We got about 21 seconds. Is that what they just said?
Sounds about right.
We're waiting for the stadium announcer to hear what the clock is. So Babbitt with the disc. First thing I would do is take Babbitt out of having the disc. I'd give it to Kocher Let's see if they sub in Chris Kotcher. Chris Kotcher walking on the field. Harper Garvey walking on the field. Maybe Harper Garvey, Sam Little walking on the field. So, again, the full offensive-defensive switch is happening right now. And it looks like they're going to circle up for a play call. Ben Yacht staying on the field. Babbitt staying on the field. Now I wonder, Stefan, can they switch Babbitt out? He had already picked up this disc in his hands in the count. I don't think they can, right?
It's a great question. I believe these are the rules, if Babbitt is staying on the field, he must keep the disc.
He must keep the disc. So questionable decision here from C.J. Willett, the coach, to keep Babbitt on the field, if that is the case, as he has called the timeout. Not the strongest of handlers, trapped on the sideline with the clock running down for New York.
Especially when you have other guys out there on your bench, like Frank Wang, when you have Matt Pippin-Aletta, when you have Clark Kofer, who is a beast with the disc. Actually, we see Sean Keegan still on the sideline right now, arguably the best thrower for the New York Empire.
Have we seen Keegan since the injury? I don't think we have. So we're going to check in with Sean Keegan at halftime if we can. Actually, at halftime, we have an interesting thing coming up for you. We're going to repatch this feed again. I'm sure you'll all be welcome of that. And we're going to have a halftime show of a scrimmage between the women's champions of New York City, the Stuyvesant Sticky Fingers, and Latin. Garvey with the disc. So Garvey was able to get the disc from Babbitt, even though Babbitt stayed on the field. Garvey looking for a give and go with Chris Kotcher, but it's a double team. Kotcher now open. Kotcher, clock is ticking down. Garvey slings it across field to Ryan Dross. He's got Babbitt open. He doesn't hit him. Boy, I wonder. Now he goes for the around to Babbitt, and it's D'd up. It's slapped out of the air by Greg Martin. And the time is going to run out.
Just a couple seconds too long there from Ryan Dross. Had he made that decision when he first got the disc, putting into Babbitt into a place where he knows that he can make an athletic play, Babbitt was already clearing at that point, but...
So time is not out. That's a timeout call from Philadelphia Phoenix. They will now give it a shot, I believe.
With no more than a handful of seconds left, looking to put the right guys on the field, which is a great call, a great strategic play here by the Philadelphia Phoenix. If they have a timeout to burn, use it now. Get all your big guys out. See if you can make one throw to someone who can shoot it 75 yards upwind, probably someone like Nicky Spiva, and then make a play on it in the end zone.
Yeah, Quinn can boost it. Mock can boost it. Marquez can boost it. I'd put Marquez out there to catch it. I'd put actually Mark Arquette isn't here, but he's a big receiver. Greg Martin is an excellent receiver, the guy who just made the D. Esser, I'd send him out there. I'd send Marquez, Esser, Mott, and maybe Will Honey, and have Spiva bomb it. 1 second is on the clock.
A notable player that we haven't seen here today is Trey Kazenbach, who is captaining the Masters mixed team at Beach Worlds right now.
Yeah, Mixed Masters.
Mixed Masters. Another guy that's really been a veteran presence on the team. Unfortunately, not with them today.
So that's a lot of distance to go for 1 second. I'm not sure if this is going to work. We've seen crazy things in the AUDL, so I'm not going to totally discount it, but that's a lot of yardage to go. Let's see.
One throw.
Pop over the top. Boost from Scotty Zoo. Will it work? And they're going to wave it off anyway. And Yacht's going to just showboat it off. And that's your end of the half. 12-8 is your score. The New York Empire leading the Philadelphia Phoenix here in a must-win game for Philadelphia at Randall's Island here in New York City. So we're going to stay with us. We're going to have to repatch this feed again. We're going to try to give you some love and enjoy the second half. We'll be right back with you. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2. Hey, we're gonna go get the score for you. Hey, you're watching the AUDL live here on our repatch. Fantastic repatch. This is halftime. You are not watching the AUDL. You're watching two of the elite high school women's teams in New York City. In fact, this is a scrimmage of the championship teams. Latin in purple and Stuyvesant Sticky Fingers, previous high school championship winners in white. An overthrow from Latin. So they're playing a little bit of a shorter field here. Sty will pick it up. Sty, an amazing history in the sport here. So, you know, Stefan, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go down to the field. And you and I are going to be able to monkey with this thing. And, oh! Dita. All right, Stefan. Here, it's goal shot, it's a goal. Oh, it's 2 goals. So when you play on like a short field here, you've experienced this before, Stefan, when you're playing on a different field size and all of a sudden like the end zones are here and then they, you know, are not the other traditional end zones.
Oh, yeah, it's incredibly confusing. The most confusing part is actually the stall to 7. The ladies here today are playing with a standard stall to 10, as you would in any high school regulation game within the Disc NY community. We can see Brooklyn Latin here, who also has a great reputation within the New York Ultimate scene. They've done a phenomenal job bringing men's and women's Frisbee to the youth scene within the New York City area, and we're very grateful to have both of them out here with us today.
You know, let's talk to one of the coaches from Latin, I believe. Dave O-Town Reynolds, are you a coach for Latin? Okay, we're going to come over here. We're going to talk to you once we see this score here. And then, Josh, when you see us, go ahead and we'll talk to Dave O-Town Reynolds here. Hey, man, how you doing? What's that? You're missing all your starting handlers?
Yeah.
Ooh, that happens. Where are they? You already graduated, so.
Yeah, it's hard to get them out to do things.
Yeah.
One of them's in Hong Kong visiting family.
Yeah. And did you play Stuyvesant in the finals?
We did.
Ooh, okay, score. Okay, here we go. So, Dave, you're one of the. Tell us about the Latin program and how it got started, and what your job is with the program.
We started. We had a mixed team 4 years ago because we didn't really have enough players for either team. But
Only 3 years ago.
Yeah, and now our boys have moved up, and they're playing in the A division now. They finished 5th in the A division, but the girls won the city championship this year.
So the girls won this game against Stuyvesant in the city championship.
They did, but it's been really close between us and Sty all season long. All games have been won by 1 or 2 points. We opened up the city championship 5-0 against them, and then they crawled all the way back, and we eventually had to take it 11-9.
Wow. Okay. And what about for states?
The boys went up to states. The girls didn't have the numbers to make that.
Okay. Copy that. And do you get out to Minnesota for any of those clubs? These players play for the YCC?
A number of them do play for the YCC squad. Jennifer and Jamie are currently doing that. Also, Jade and Samantha were big with YCC last summer.
So, Dave, why don't you give us the rundown of the players on the field for us and give them a shout out?
All right, so I've got sophomore Becky Chen. We're training her up as a handler. Senior Jennifer Zumi, she's going to be handling for us today, but normally she's a cutter. Jamie Kwok is also one of our best cutters who's picking the disc up right now. She'll probably have to start being a handler next year as a senior once most of our senior handlers graduate away. Ooh, that's unfortunate.
Big hand block for there from Stuyvesant.
Yeah. And the white hat is Callie Huff. She's a junior. She's one of our big receivers. The long hair is T-Rath Kaur. She's another senior. Hopefully she can catch up on this. Unfortunately not. Oh man, really bad time to be introducing my players. And number 11 is Clara Park. She's another junior receiver for us.
Dave, I want to say thank you. I will say one other thing. You already won the championship, so this is just a scrimmage. Congratulations to your girls.
Thank you.
David O-Town Reynolds. Stefan, you know Dave. You've been around with O-Town before?
I've never had the privilege of playing on the same team as Dave, but he's been around the scene for quite a long time, as I come to realize, almost 6 years at this point.
We're going to find a Stuyvesant representative now. We're going to be on the search for that, and we'll come back to you.
5 minutes, 10 seconds remaining. 3-0 Stuyvesant.
You guys play for Stuyvesant? You guys all play for Stuyvesant here? All right. I'm hanging here with the Stuyvesant boys team and some of the girls. So we heard you guys finished 5th in states this year?
Yes.
What about the city?
Did we do 5th?
Tied. There's some dispute here. You were tied for 3rd in states?
Yeah.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know the answer to that. Third in states. All right. So how about your girls team here? Here's the women, and it's the state champs.
Yeah, they're state champs.
Okay, but they lost the city championship to Latin, is what I heard.
Yes, they did.
But they won states.
Yes, they did.
Okay. Stuyvesant is traditionally a strong team. So who are some of your elite players on your seniors here on the Stuyvesant Sticky Fingers?
The seniors?
Yeah.
For boys or girls?
For girls.
They don't have seniors really.
So this is a team that's coming back next year as well.
Yes, it is. Number 41, she's a junior. She's captain. Her name's Ann Zhang. Number 2 is Emma Chin. She's also captain, but she's a sophomore and she's a dirty player. Maggie Mai, number 42. She catches a lot in the end zone. So they score a lot too.
Great play there from Latin. Okay, well you heard it. What's your name, sir?
Oh, Eric Lamb.
There. And what year are you at Stuyvesant?
I'm a junior going to senior.
And you've already picked out your college?
No.
Are you going to pick a college based on Ultimate Frisbee?
Oh, yes, definitely.
What schools are you looking at?
Probably Brandeis.
Brandeis, huh? Okay.
Or Stony.
Or
I have to factor in my academic too, of course. Otherwise, you choose Harvard Red Line.
okay, also a good choice. In fact, one of the elite players from Stuyvesant is Will Riverband Shen, went to Harvard. Good following Will Shen. Nice talking to you, Mr. Lamb. All right, take care. We're going to go back to our regularly scheduled AUDL broadcast. That was just hanging out with some of the Stuyvesant boys team. Again, legendary program here in New York City and in the country. How bad was that? Yeah, I thought it wasn't. I figured. I knew you would do that too, so that's cool.
Number 15, Kelly Huff. 1 minute remaining, cards for 3-2, Stuyvesant.
Okay, there's a minute left remaining here, Stefan, for Stuyvesant state champions against Brooklyn Latin in purple. We got a fun little run down there. We talked to Coach Reynolds. Let's make sure you're up there. Are you up there?
I think we are. We saw Brooklyn Latin as the championships, having beaten Stuyvesant 11-9 in the New York City finals to take home the gold.
Well, you know what Stuyvesant told me? He told me that the girls won the state championship.
Stuyvesant girls did?
Yeah.
Oh, so the Brooklyn Latin girls had potential to win states. Unfortunately, couldn't get enough numbers up there.
Yeah.
We never really got to see a rematch. Maybe they left on purpose, trying to keep their gold medal intact and their perfect record.
Yeah,
untainted.
exactly. We own New York City. Forget the rest of this state.
10, 9, 8, 7.
Playing with AUDL's rules here. Last couple of seconds, managed to get a D.
2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, our big
And that's the game. A great showcase from two phenomenal programs from right here in our backyard of New York City.
The winner is Stuyvesant with a score of 3-2, but once again, a big hand for all the ladies of both teams.
Let's give a round of applause for our halftime show. The Stuyvesant Sticky Fingers in white, one of the premier and long-standing Ultimate teams here in New York City, versus Brooklyn Latin in purple, the city champions, and a scrimmage rematch of the city championship won by Latin.
Once again, a giant thank you to all of our ladies, both teams, for playing. Every single participant will receive a spike full set, courtesy of the New York Empire.
So, Brian, did you? Oh, you. Okay. Right. Might as well put up the score now. All right. Josh, go back onto the players form now. Okay. You probably already did. They're going to receive down there. So they're pulling. Yeah, they're receiving down there. White is receiving. Hey folks, welcome back. Tony Leonardo and Stefan Dicker. We apologize for the technical difficulties we were having, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the game here. Second half coming your way from Randall's Island here in the home of New York City. So this is a must-win game for the New York Empire, and they are indeed ahead by 5 here. It looks like a comfortable margin. We have, however, seen a lot of comebacks in the AUDL this year, Stefan. We've seen a 7-point comeback, I believe maybe an 8-point comeback. So, and the wind has died down. We'll see what character the Phoenix come out with in the second half. Pull coming down from right to left on your screen, and Nikki Spiva will step up to receive it and hit Scotty Zoo to Will Honey. Honey looking to Mott now with the disc. Hunziker out on the sideline with it. Got a streaker cutter coming in, but pops it up too high. An overthrow. I don't know if Babbitt should get a credit for the D there. Babbitt slings it across the middle to Ben Yacht. Not your typical handle combination you would see. Yacht looking to Aloro. Aloro had Ross Ward. Ross Ward sets him up and goes deep. Now he's got Clark Kofer. Kofer mistimed it. Over to Yacht. Yacht wants to huck it. Holds it. Aloro. Aloro looking and slings it to Wodach. We'll put it to Ben Yacht. He's got space. He's got feet. It's a perfect throw, and Ben Yacht will get it. Will Honey trailing and not in time. Ben Yacht with the perfect out cut there, and Wodach finds him for the score as they increase their lead on a break to start the second half, 13-8.
That's what you like to see from the New York Empire, a team that has been notoriously had a difficult time finding a way to put the ball into the end zone. They have one of the lowest conversion rates in terms of offensive possessions and actually putting the disc in.
It's great to see Ben Yacht, who looked incredibly comfortable with the disc out there, both in the backfield, then moving upfield and eventually scoring the goal.
Yeah, nice patience there. You know, they didn't try to do too much. Not a lot of wind here. They just handled around till they found the open shot, and Wodat hit his man.
New York Empire coming out here with another D-line. Josh Aloro, Ben Yachts, Ryan Drost, Jeff Babbitt, that's John Wodatch with the pull, Matthew Lamar, and Sam Taylor. Swinging across the field, looking extra patient. Scotty Zoo with the disc.
Roberts. Zoo. Looking up to Mott. Mott has a guy. He sends it. He zings it in there. Oh, it's dropped. Unfortunate drop from Roberts there. Came in on an interesting angle, but should have been an easy catch. Babbitt now with the disc from Malero. These guys that got a lot of playing time when they're getting these breaks. You see Babbitt and the D-line up there a lot. Babbitt was slinging. There was a whistle. I don't know if Drost needs to catch this, but it's smart to catch it, and he does. Crowd cheers, but it's going to be called back. Looks like it's going to be a downfield pick call would be my guess.
What a shot by Jeff Babbitt. Something that you don't normally see from the big 6'2" cutter. He's got the throws, folks.
Yeah, that was a nice put, actually. You're right about that. Had the defender been there, well, I don't know. Sean Mott's on him. It's pretty quick. It's a downfield pick call, sends this back. And Babbitt will reset.
See if he does it again.
Instead, up to Yacht. Yacht looking for Drost. Drost trying to set his man up, but can't get Mott off of him. Now Wodatch with the disc. A lot of gunners out here, and that's kind of cool for the Empire. A dishy upfield lefty, and Matt Lamar will put it up, just sling it up to Babbitt, but it's too far. Oh, does he toe the line? Will they give it to him? Ooh, I don't know. I think he was out, and they're going to call him out. Brownlee draped over Babbitt. The disc over the back side of Brownlee, who was in pretty good position there. Babbitt tries to toe the line, and I think he just got too much tape.
Tough call, but you got to trust the rest there. Unfortunately, just a little too far out of bounds thrown by Matt Lamar. He has the ability to put it up on a platter. He's going to hit him in stride next time, I guarantee it.
Well, I would have liked to see another fake there. Like, I mean, Brownlee was all over him. Like, Babbitt's got to get another break on that, and Lamar shouldn't have needed to put it to that shot. An away shot down the middle, you know, why not come back to a cone cut on that? Roberts with the disc. Drops it back down to Sean Mott. Sean Mott will zip this one to Marquez. Oh, Marquez goes up and can't quite get it. Taylor with the D instead. So they keep firing. Now, you know, Coach Willett for the New York Empire told us, you know, a lot of that's what people say about Philadelphia. You know, a lot of athletes, and it's true. They are a very athletic bunch, and they're missing sort of those core handler guys that we know that were able to rock it with patrol and the spinners. Yacht, low shot, easily D'd by Sean Mott. So, you know, is this the game of the Philadelphia Phoenix? Is to shoot it deep, you know, and against an Empire lineup with those guys out there, you know, maybe that's a bad matchup for Philadelphia. Spiva resets his feet and widens out the throw to Mott. Mott will curve it to Marquez. Marquez, Brownlee with the disc. MKHB, hammer, nice throw. No chance for the Empire D. Both defenders caught off guard there, and Roberts collects the goal. Aaron Roberts, number 21. That's a hold for Philadelphia.
Rail to rail on that play. We can see the Philadelphia Phoenix starting with the disc closer to the sideline. That is on the bottom end of your screen and moving it all the way up to the right-hand sideline. A nice little hammer over the top by Marquise Brownlee for the goal, hitting the open man in stride, never questioning twice his ability to put his hammer right there on the mark. For the first time this half, we see the Empire O-line come on with Taylor Brooks, Matt Pippin Aletta, Harper Garvey, Chris Kocher, Matt Stevens, Mike Drost, and Sam Little.
Quarter number 3.
Taylor Brooks in the backfield fielding it. Up to Harper Garvey. And just a little out of reach, so we thought. Harper picking it up and throwing from his knees.
Nice layout from Garvey. Made it look smooth. Aletta up to Drost, Mike Drost. Up to Stevens. Stevens having a pretty good game. Stevens, back to Drost. Not in. Wow, I thought he had that. Tried to stretch it. Drost. It's a goal. Drost finds his man. I think it's Aletta over there. I can't quite. It's got to be Kotter. No, Sam Little. I can't see. He's too far away.
A nice little janky pass there from Mike Drost. The backhand from the backhand side that somehow curves on over into the forehand, the foreside for the flick. Whatever happened, it worked. Empire still up by 5.
What are we listening to? This? It's been an entertaining day in the hasn't it, Stefan?
Love that double audio coverage.
Double audio there's nothing finer. Let's talk more about this season here in the East particularly. So DC goes up to Montreal and they win, and they're kind of locked into position there. Montreal wins. Great performance, Montreal. They've had a really excellent string of games here now as they've put themselves solidly in position. It would take a miracle right now for the Empire to kind of catch up with them at 7-4. So the surprise, Montreal Royal. And, they're hosting championship weekend, so there's a lot of motivation for that team as we see Babbitt jump the gun there and rush the pass and collect the D. Wodach swinging up, and Wang gets it for the goal to Benyat. So the boys in black are racking up the blocks as Babbitt is adding to his league lead right now. He has 25 blocks coming into this game. It's hard for me to count how many he's gotten so far here. At least 3. One was an overthrow. I don't know if you want to count that one.
Exactly, and a lot of these Ds have come from a little bit of wind, a little bit of overthrows, some janky little junk defense where couldn't necessarily have seen Babbitt, but because he's so quick and a little bit deceptive in the way that he moves around the field, you don't think that he's been able to get there. But the Philadelphia Phoenix have thrown into him, been able to clap catch as a D a number of times in this game.
Well, as a former defensive back, Jeff Babbitt has got this knack for knowing when to break on the disc, right? So, as a D-back, you're looking for when are you going to make your break on the ball when it's thrown up. And he has that. You see him kind of hanging out in the lane, then all of a sudden he just jumps right into the spot. And that's what he did right there. Charlie Patton here will pick up the disc for the Philadelphia Phoenix. He's got Scotty Zoo back with him. And across the other side, can't quite see.
Charlie Patton, also a former member of the New York Rumble, part of the crew that came over to play with Philadelphia this year.
That's Charlie Cannon over there, number 16 with the disc. Cannon up now. They're mixing up their line. Spiva finds Brownlee. Nice movement here as they broke through the zone very quickly. They overrode one side, and that's the very good solution there. Now they're a little bit caught up there as Lamar tries to get the D, and he can't quite get there. Instead, they're still gumming up Philadelphia, who's moved backwards now. Cannon moves up, though. Scotty Zoo moves up. Is he in? He thought he was, but no, this will work, however. And there's the goal from the Philadelphia Phoenix, hanging around a little bit. Still down a bunch, though.
Good patience there from the Philadelphia Phoenix offense, slowly working it through. Scotty Zhu thought that he was in, took a couple extra steps. I'm surprised that the refs didn't call that a travel, but he quickly regains his composure and then throws it in for the goal.
Yeah, he did sort of like kind of goal high step it, like, hey, I'm in for the goal. Oh, it's not a goal?
Psych.
I'll just walk back and pretend like nothing happened.
But as you mentioned before, this is, and we've said this phrase at least half a dozen times on this broadcast alone, it is a must-win for the New York Empire. If they win, it puts them at 3-5. Montreal sits comfortably a couple places ahead of them, at a record, I believe, 7-2. They've also played a couple more games than the New York Empire have. So the New York Empire have most of their away games towards the end of this season, and we see a drop there by Taylor Brooks. It's not what you want to see for a team that's really trying to gun up and make a run at the playoffs. Let's see if they can actually convert this now and get back on offense.
Scotty Zoo drops it back. This is the Empire D-line. Oh, that hung up in the air. Is it going to be a crowd? Oh, almost caught, but instead it's a turnover and a lucky break as it was popped up in the air from Forster. And New York will get the disc back again. Aletta with a crafty dish over the top. Big rip. Kocher going deep. He's got a man trailing with him. That's Forster. And it's Kocher again. Skies in the end zone. He's looking for Mike Dross. No, drops it back to Little. Little looking. And back to Aletta. Kocher with two huge skies already over guys taller than him. Kocher almost drops it, but holds on. Kocher into the end zone. It's a goal for Stevens again. That connection is number 3 for those two right there. Kocher finding Stevens. The timing is excellent. And, they're coming off a bye week, Stefan. And, those types of connections where you see Kocher hit Matt Stevens in perfect stride 3 times already in this game for Stevens' 4th goal. I just feel like that's something that you discover in practice where you're working with somebody and you discover that, like, wow, this guy is cutting. When I look upfield, he's open every time, and he knows when I've got the disc, I'm looking upfield, and pow, you see it happen on the field here.
The New York Empire have done a great job the last couple of seasons about gelling their team, despite not playing on the same club team for everyone. Everyone practiced together on Wednesday nights. The Empire actually held a special team bonding exercise this past weekend since they did have a bye week in anticipation that the rest of the season was going to be incredibly important, that they need to have some must-win games. And it looks like it's working as they lead the Philadelphia Phoenix by 5 now.
Yeah, I like the composure and certainly the D sets that we're seeing here. So the question I had coming into this game was who are going to be the receivers on the O-line. They took Babbitt, who's been a D player, but they didn't put Yacht on the O-line. And they didn't have Ryan Dross on the O-line, and they took Wodach off the O-line. And I'm like, well, who are you going to throw it to deep? And they're like, well, we're going to throw it to Chris Kocher, and we're going to look for Sam Little. And that's been working.
Sam Little, another guy who's usually in the backfield with the disc, has some great throws, but he's also a trigger downfield, very easily able to get open and then make the throws necessary to put the disc in the end zone.
Unfortunate drop there from Brownlee. We saw that from Lamar earlier, too, just the momentary distraction as an easy goal is dropped. And back to the Empire again, if they need, if it's not working with Kocher and Little as some of your downfield cutters, bring Ben Yacht over, and they'll do that. Bring Jeff Babbitt over, because you throw it to those guys, they're gonna score some goals for you, that's for sure.
A star-studded team, no doubt. A number of these guys who are new to the New York City area, Harper Garvey, Chris Kocher came over about a year and a half ago, playing his 3rd season with Pony now. Actually, 2 years ago, playing his 3rd season with Pony. But we're seeing a number of these guys now sign on to Pony, and they're making that conversion from New York Empire players into New York Pony for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
We're also seeing a big pickup by Pony this year is Nasser Mbe, who's now playing with the Montreal Royale. He will be gearing up for New York Ultimate, donning the blue and orange of Pony for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and Nasser, one of the legendary superstars of Europe, saw him at Paganello a lot, would win with the Scandinavian team Stinks, and then, of course, played with Team France for a number of years, and then has played with the Skogscheidens, the elite Swedish team that would win the World Championships every now and then. So, very excellent player, Nasser.
I don't know if he's actually ever played with the same team twice in the same season. He's been all over the place. He's played with Goats. I think he might have even been rostered for Ironside at one different point. But he's been all around. I know he played with, I believe, the Montreal team, Mockingjay, that came out of Montreal last year and was a huge pickup for them, actually bringing them into the top 5 for the Northeast region in USAU Club.
Huh. I didn't realize that. See what he does in New York, but back here on the field here. Well, Nasser is now, these guys are going to have to defeat if they want to get into the playoffs. Playing for the Raleigh. Garvey with the disc. Little sets up his cut. He's double teamed, and that worked out pretty well as the shift was there. Now on to Sam Little. Hybrid, really. He's got the throws. Out of the University of Georgia. Slings it back across the field. It dives down, and Drost dives down with it. Mike Drost back to Little. Little. Ooh, it's hot. Ooh, nice pickup. Kocher. Up to Taylor Brooks. Over to Aletta. Nice movement here. Patience is paying off. Little with the disc. Surveying. Kocher always open, it seems. He put some weight on it. I love it. Aletta will take it. That's like you take it. No, you take it. You take it. Fine, I'll take the disc.
You guys have scored enough this game already. This one's for you.
So that throw by Kocher was kind of cool, right? He popped it up in a way that would be like, that's going to get beat up. And then he just like overshot it on purpose, and somehow that it would drop in perfectly. That's why I say weight. It's like casting your line out, and you've got just the right perfect weight on there that just kind of goes over and then drops in.
I'm not sure how intentional that was. He might have wanted to hit his guy in stride, but at the end of the day, it worked out. Everyone was positioned perfectly, and it ended up being a real beaut for the Empire.
You hearing what the score was? Okay. Is that what he said for real? All right. You can keep that scoreboard up the whole time. Yeah.
Thank you.
We're sure that's right, huh? You just said it, right? Yeah, cool. All right. Cool. Yeah, go ahead and keep it up the whole time. Yeah. We got a timeout here. So, again, going back to Philadelphia, so this game they're coached by Sam Morgan and Andrea De Sabato. Coach Eileen Murray, their head coach, is in Rouen, France, coaching the mixed team for the United States World Beach team at the championships of Beach Ultimate. CJ Willett now the coach for the Empire in his second game coaching after Coach Gibbon retired and Coach Dixon retired, or changed up in the middle of the season. Yacht here now in his second game, really definitely you could see having an impact, and that was somebody that Coach Willett was telling us, when we asked him, he said Yacht practiced with us 3 times now, and he had a game with us, and we think he's going to be a factor. He was one of the 5 Callahan Award nominees this year, top 5. So this is a guy who can compete.
No, it's great to see Yacht has, I think, now officially acclimated himself to the New York Empire D-line. He's out there scoring goals, getting blocks. It's not quite perfect yet, but he's got the rest of the season to work out the kinks. And in what is arguably the most important time of year for the New York Empire, as they are down 2 wins to 5 losses. The next team up is Montreal with 7 wins and 2 losses. But they have a number of games left to play. They'll be headed out to Ottawa, as we discussed before, and playing against them in the next 2 weeks. Having Ben Yacht on their squad is only going to be helpful, especially now that he's really a part of the team and producing as such.
So this has got to be a disappointment for Philadelphia, though. I really felt like they had a nice end of game. I believe it was overtime, or it might have been regulation time. 24-23 win over DC Breeze, and they had a big win up in Montreal to get on the board. And just there's a lot of talent here, and really they just haven't been able to have a lot of good connections here today. New York has the best defense in the league, but that kind of drop disc play has been all too common for Philadelphia today. So
it makes you wonder, Tony, what is Philadelphia working for at this point? There's no doubt they have a lot of great players in the team, but unfortunately the likelihood of them making playoffs is rather low. Most of them don't play on the same club team together, so what are they all out here working for together if not for the 2018 Philadelphia Phoenix? And who knows if this team is going to look at all what it looks like right now.
Yeah, you want to build chemistry, you want to get confidence. You want to feel good about going back back to Philadelphia. And these kind of mental mistakes with the drops and stuff aren't going to help. I mean, you can also pack it in. Save your energy, save your mental, strength. Maybe. I don't know. It's weird when teams do that sometimes. If you watch the NBA playoffs, like the Cleveland first game against Golden State, like they were just letting Durant drive the lane and dunk it. I mean, they honestly we're like, we'll get that guy later. It was odd, and sometimes, it didn't challenge the resilience. I mean, they played games in Cleveland as hard as you can play. The Cavaliers did. So I feel like this isn't necessarily an indication of the strength of this Philadelphia Phoenix team. But they're certainly losing focus here, and New York looking the stronger unit by far.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of success in other regions. I believe it was the Vancouver Riptide that has actually formed a formal partnership with Furious George. So a vast majority of those players actually play across the board on that team, and their goal is to work together to become better as a unit. And whether that means a unit for the AUDL Pro season or the USAU Club season or any other leagues in which they may participate, they're there to work together as a community and as a cohesive unit.
Yeah, integrity rule there. Wodach admits that it was a strip that Mott had already stopped the rotation of the disc, and the whistle was blown anyway. So Wodach tries to sneak in there for the block, but Mott had it first. So the zone defense has been quite effective. Again, New York, one of the best teams, if not the best team in the league on defense, and you can kind of see why here. So overloading it with those studs like Yacht and Babbitt and Ryan Drost, who was last year's leader in the league in D blocks, kind of makes sense. Play to your strength. And that's Aaron Roberts will punch it over. Marquez, Brownlee with the disc. He's got such smooth motion to his throws.
He's so long. As another long, lanky person, I'm incredibly jealous of his ability to get all the way around and still be so smooth.
Charlie Patton throws the score to Will Honey. That's Greg Martin there, I believe. Nope, that's Roberts. And the Phoenix get back in. $19-11. 19-11, as you can see by your scoreboard. We'll be here all night, folks.
The sun is slowly starting to set, and you can see the shadows from the borough of Manhattan looming over the edge. I'm not sure if you're able to see it on your screen there, but it's quite beautiful.
Garvey. Here's another setup play as Stevens breaks into the open side here. So they side stack, and it's a big huck. Wow. Dross reads this great as he really came right to that disc, but he puts too much on it, and not enough on it might be the better way to put it, as Little tries to run it down, and it just floats to the turf. Great read, though, to pick that up to begin with.
Looks like the Philadelphia defender might have gotten a piece off of Harvey's backhand huck.
So Philadelphia's D-line will pick up the disc, and now you don't see the zone defense from New York because this is their O-line, obviously playing on a reverse here. Rosso finds Martin. Martin back to Rosso. Uh-oh. Kotcher's got a read on it. No, Martin skies him. Martin gets up. Rosso will put it. The clock was running out. Will it count? It's attempted greatest. It looked like his feet were on the ground. I'm not sure I would call that legal. You kind of have to be up in the air for that. It looks a little goofy. The refs are not talking about this. Where did the whistle blow? As you heard the crowd counting down the end of half. We don't have end of the quarter. We don't have the scoreboard up here, so it's tough to say. But they were counting it down. Now they're going to wave off that whole sequence there. As entertaining as it was, as Rosso bombs it, and the attempted inside the park greatest. Maybe you call it.
Great effort there.
A great
Matt
effort.
Esser.
The greatest effort.
Looking back at the replay, he might have even gotten the disc off before he landed on the ground, but I think the initial play was a little bit too late. It can be a little confusing. There have been some technical difficulties here regarding the score clock, so it's been difficult for the coaches to also know exactly how much time is left. The refs are doing the best job they can, letting them know every couple of minutes or so, but when it comes down to the last 15 seconds, it gets really, really difficult and tricky for the refs to be paying attention to the game while letting the captains and the coaches know exactly how much time is left.
Yeah, 19-11 is your score. Empire over the Phoenix. So again, let's talk about the road ahead. I keep thinking about this. So this is basically, this game is going to go in the Empire's favor unless something dramatic happens here. So the road ahead for New York is Ottawa's here next Saturday, the 24th. New York hasn't played Ottawa this year. And they have 3 games against Ottawa left. Ottawa's also at the bottom. They're at 2-5. New York is at 2-5. So they don't, how good is Ottawa? Maybe not that good, Are they better than New York? Probably not. So let's say New York's favored to win that game. That's a pretty easy call to make. So they win that game, they go to 4-5. Now New York's task ahead of them is a road trip. So Ottawa, this is July 1st weekend. So, July 4th follows after that on Tuesday. So it's Ottawa on the 1st, and then after that, on the second end of that back-to-back is at Montreal. And they have to win both of those games, basically. But it's all doable, I think, right? Like, if this team is out and out, outclassing, more talented than Ottawa, then those games should be wins, right? And then if you have all your eggs in the basket for Montreal when you go up there, maybe they can pull this off.
Execution is key, Tony. We've said from day one that just by looking at the roster, the Empire have it down. Even looking at early preseason power rankings, I believe the New York Empire were in the top 6. This means that they're competing with guys like the San Francisco FlameThrowers, the San Jose Spiders. You're looking at the Minnesota Windchill. At the beginning of the season, we thought that the Atlanta Hustle might be a little bit more troublesome, but Jacksonville has really come out firing and taken over the South, along with the Raleigh Flyers and the Dallas Roughnecks. On paper, the New York Empire have a team to go the distance. They should be making the playoffs. I truly believe that. Execution is key. They've shown us a couple of moments with a couple of silly drops out here, a couple of silly throws away, some throws that had a little bit too much touch on them, maybe a little miscommunication between players who haven't been on the field that long with each other. Can New York successfully execute when they're playing against a new team like the Ottawa Outlaws, who they haven't seen yet this season? And most importantly, can they do so on the road when they're playing against the Outlaws as well as the Montreal Royale?
Well, we're going to find out. But first, we're going to get a special treat. As my son, Soren, happy Father's Day, I get blueberries. Soren, do you want to say anything for the fans? He made a sound.
That was a gargle, I think.
That was a gurgle?
That's the first one.
He's 3. He's probably past the gurgle phase. And he's out.
He'll remember this moment for the rest of his life. His first on-air action.
We do what we can. Well, Stefan, look, we have some wonderful blueberries here to cheer us up.
Oh, I appreciate it. I am not a father, Tony, but I appreciate
You're a disc dad.
loves of your labor here. I am a disc dad. This is true. Though I haven't been a disc dad for almost a year now. I don't think it counts if we stop doing the podcast. Maybe we'll get it up and running again. And you can see, again, the wind is still a factor here as there's an overthrow from the New York Empire.
Blueberries. Yes, sir. Chewing blueberries on air, maybe not the call. Yes, sir. Martin. That's not Martin, sorry. And unfortunately, drop. There's a call there. Dross is arguing.
No reversal of call by the Philadelphia Phoenix. Looks like he thought that there was a little bit of contact before he hit the disc. Look at Scotty Zoo run.
Yeah.
Man
ran
alive,
himself.
is he quick.
Yeah, he's fast. Steven's unable to catch
Sorry,
up.
that was Steven Eng with the wheels in the end zone. Apologies for the confusion with Scotty Zoo. Steven, very impressive there, running back and forth across the field, breaks away from his defender and scores for the Philadelphia Phoenix.
Yeah, the 17 versus the 11. Okay, well, that's a break for Philadelphia Phoenix. Don't want to write this team off too early now, do we? Marquez Brownlee set to pull now with a disc. And New York will send its same line out there. So, another question I have for New York going into this, next stretch of the season is Chris Kotcher. How much is he going to be around?
Great point. He has other obligations with the USA Worlds team, and as fierce a teammate as he is for the New York Empire, I imagine that has to be his priority right now, bringing back home a gold representing the United States of America, the prestige of which is only granted to a handful, 14 players from across the country, including both men's and women's.
Garvey with the disc. Yeah, they'll be in Wrocław, Poland in the end of July, I believe.
Right at the end of this AUDL season. So if it comes down to it, they might be without Kotcher for the last 1 to 2 games, and they make that final push for the playoffs.
Arletta. Oh, dirty. Woo, flipped it. Nice little flip to Little. And it looked like it was a forehand side for lefty on Arletta, and instead he zips it on the backhand. And it works for the goal.
Sometimes it helps to be a lefty in this kind of wind. You get that nice little lefty backhand that everyone else practices, and you can be, don't worry about this. This is the throw that I have. That really reminded me of Arletta from 2 or 3 years ago when he was a little less conservative on the field. That one played out really well, but that used to be his bread and butter, and it's good to see that he still has that throw in his arsenal.
The backhand to the forehand side, like that? That's nice. Nice. It's tough because you're putting it into a tight window there. You don't have the arc of the disc is not favoring you, so it has to be pretty spot on.
And spot on it was. Here we have John Wodach again with a big pull coming downfield.
It's a family broadcast. Scotty Zoo up to Mott. Hunziker looking back to Mott. Pops it up. Mott, no problem. I love how he one-hands it up there, actually.
Swag.
It's nice. I feel like he's in position to throw from there. Honey. Babbitt just loafing around out there. It's scary. Wodach guarding Nikki Spiva. Double team, and they call foul. A little body mark here. Yacht wants it to go the other way. It does go the other way. We're calling this foul on Nikki Spiva as the double team got to him. Yacht will drop off the double team and leave Wodach there with Nikki Spiva, and he'll go to Will Honey. Spiva now will jack it. Yacht got caught flat-footed for just a little too long. Will Honey get there? He does make up ground.
What wheels on the 6'6". Wow.
How did he do that? He was a good 4 steps behind him, I thought. He did. Wow. Nice play there from Ben Yacht.
Ben Yacht doing what he does best. That's why his Callahan video was to the tune of the Yacht Club. Exclusive access.
So we haven't seen Sean Keegan back. I'm not sure what his injury report is going to be, but that could be a big loss for the Empire here in this apparent win. A little cloud in the lining of this upcoming victory here for the Empire. Ross Ward, shake and bake, Kofer, from Florida State, of course. Kofer will rip it. That's not coming back. Wow! I just got a brownie.
Happy Father's Day indeed.
The goods keep coming.
Makes it all worthwhile, right? And for many, many other reasons.
Cares about college tuition. I got a brownie. That's why they call them brownie points. Sean Mott. Spiva. Honey. Can they get another D? Honey will send one to Mott. Drost is there. Mott goes up. Oh, and Drost comes down with it. Oh, I hope he's all right. Kind of came down on the knee a little funny there. Hopefully it's not the knee. Hopefully it's just the chest, and it's a little wind.
And he's quick to get back up.
Yeah.
Always a good sign.
Yeah, if you get the wind knocked out of you, you're down for a little bit. But he's walking gingerly, but not tenderly. Does that make any sense?
I think it was perfect wording. Thanks, Tony.
Okay.
I can see you were an English major in college.
I've been working on that one.
Well, with the Empire leading now 20-12, Coach Roulette might be looking at his roster saying, we're up 8 points. We don't need Dross to push himself. We don't need Keegan to push himself. We've got a deep roster of guys who are definitely able to take care of the rest of this game. He's going to put faith in his guys.
Yeah, I like that. Like, let's not get anyone else injured, right? Wodach. Yacht is going deep, and he'll put it. He likes the matchup. Wodach got some nice air on it. Yacht goes up early and gets it. Over Will Honey. And he lost it in for Ward to the goal. Phew. That's some scary stuff. A little bit underthrown. I like the lift on it. Yacht stops his cut and is able to come back to the disc and go up and time it nicely. And wow, what a luxury to afford for a thrower on this Empire team. You can put it to Yacht or put it to Babbitt, and if you're a little short, that's all right.
You know what's really scary? He can get up even higher. He's got another 6 to 7 inches of vertical on him. When you're talking about a 6'6" frame, that was not his highest point.
Well, he went back for the disc. I get that. But 6 to 7 inches?
Yeah, I think he can get even further up. Trust me. Yeah. He gets big.
Did he roof you in college or something? You weren't playing college ball then.
I wish he roofed me in college. No, we were never in college at the same time. Though he and I are close to the same age. Ben Yacht comes to us at 25 years old.
What?
Just having finished
public
his
school
5th year.
State school. Charlie Patton to receive for Philadelphia. And that's going to be a little demoralizing for Philadelphia here. You're the more athletic team, quote unquote. And that happens.
After this game, I'm not sure we can make that claim anymore.
Marcus Brownlee with a nice cut. Will they get there? He's got it easily. He set that up nicely. Juked Ben Yacht, actually. And Yacht didn't even make a play on it. And the nice throw came in, and Marquez, with the speed to the corner, gets to the disc.
Nice heads-up action there by Matt Lamar, sticking his arm up, almost getting the D on the backside. His momentum was shifting in the other direction, but he still managed to get a hand up, just inches away from getting a D, but great heads-up play by Lamar.
So I really want to know what Philadelphia is going to talk about after this game, you know? It's got to be kind of zone offense, right? Like, how do we break that zone? And, you know, they're able to do it for 10 passes, 15 passes, and they just weren't able to do it enough, you know, and faced against the wind. And you know what? This is going to be a question for the whole league, because now you're like, okay, Ben Yachts is in the zone, Babbitt's in the zone, Wodach is in the zone, Dross is in the zone. Okay, you know, where's the points where's the weakness there that we're going to exploit? And, you know, I think the league's going to, the players in the East, I should say, are going to have to find out.
Again, Tony, I have to ask to what avail? What is the purpose? What is Philadelphia's purpose from this point forward? Are they going to try to keep a core of these players on for the next season and really work on getting chemistry? Are they going to split into lines where they know, all right, we have guys like Quinn Hunziker and a number of other guys playing Philadelphia, Matt Esser, for example, on a patrol? Do you try to get those guys together and try to work up the chemistry? Or do you just try to say, look, this is the best that we have this season. We want to try to push through, end on a really high note, win a couple of games in the back end, and show that we're still a force to be reckoned with, and we only have higher to go for next season in 2018.
Well, a nice big goal there from Chris Kocher there, and a nice give and go up the middle. Sorry, not a give and go, just a nice flow down the field. So back to the Philadelphia question. So, you know, when we sent an email to Coach Morgan, Sam Morgan, he said, you know, the great thing about Philadelphia is, you know, Jorge Harris, who's like, you know, the original owner of the team, and then Garancher brought in with the team. And he said, well, you know, we're a family. We feel like we're a family. We've had some low times. You know, this is a team that was 0 last year. Is that right? The 0-16? Yep. You know, they want to stay together. You know, they want to keep getting better, and they feel like it's a family. You know, this is our people, and there's something about that in Ultimate where if you stick together and you get some athletes out there that, you know, you got a bright future for you. So see what they can do for you know, the rest of this season and for next year.
Yeah, there's no doubt they have talent. We've seen it on the field here today. We've seen the Philadelphia Spinners win an MLU championship as recently as last year. Philadelphia has the legs and has the firepower to compete with anyone else in the nation.
Yeah, it's too bad they sort of have this reputation, and that's a turnover there on a miscommunication from Roberts to a couple guys, or two guys there. That was the problem with that particular play. Like that, but Kofor gets it. So, I just feel like with Philadelphia, like, yeah, it's the talent's there, and they'll get more talent, and just a matter of gaining confidence and finding ways to win games.
Yeah, and we've seen them struggle with it in years past. Southpaw was a great team out of the Philadelphia area for a couple of years. They didn't make nationals one year, despite having a great roster. Lost some really close games to Truck Stop.
See that tackle there?
It was a good one, huh?
Well, I love it because, Babbitt played football. So, like, that was a legit tackle, I don't think he wrapped him up.
Babbitt's got a solid 20 pounds on that guy, too.
Coach Notch with the tackle. Babbitt with the disc. Oh, the shake and bake from Yacht. But Babbitt doesn't hit him. Instead, he dumps it up to Lamar.
For an easy goal up line, showing off those legs.
Yacht is upset. I don't think Yacht's that angry, but Yacht's like, hey, man, I'm trying to get my stats up here, I've only been with the team for... It's my second game. I need those numbers, bro.
Got a lot of ground to make up. I'm still vying for most goals in the league this season.
Yeah, I need a per game goal average to be number one here. I mean, he had him juked, he was wide open. Babbitt's like, yeah, I'm going to go for the inside out break mark backhand instead.
Yeah, why not? He made it look easy, too.
That's true, he did. 22-13 here, the Empire. Really a lot of positives to take from this Empire show here. Our tech guy's giving up. Are you giving up, Ryan? No? 22-13. Whatever you put in. Is that the score? It's been
a trip, folks.
It's been a trip, folks. It's been a long stream trip. It's been, wide open Will Honey. Babbitt just let him go. Yacht let him go in the zone here. Not a lot of wind to shoot that disc down. Mont now with the disc. So, again, a lot of... Oh, Stefan, did you just get a brownie?
Not even a dad.
You're a disc dad. Easy D for Yacht. So, he didn't get to score, but his numbers his statistics are still improving. Ben Yacht fakes it. Yacht up too far. No. Josh Alora. Beautiful outstretched. Full extension grab. Drops it back to Lamar. I love Matt Lamar's game, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
He's
been with the Empire for 5 years now. Since day one.
Yeah, he's the faceless mob. Like, he's the guy that has been one of the guys that's been so critical to this team's success. I mean, they made the playoffs every year. And Lamar is a really key reason for that.
I'd be curious to see a stat out there around most D-line points played in the league, and Matt might have that record.
He might. Yeah, I think there is a New York player it might be Matt that's up there, right? Yeah.
We'll take a look at our stat sheets and get back to you, the folks at home. But Matt Lamar, 5 years in the New York Empire, played most of the D-lines that they've ever had. Really just an incredible part of this team, so consistent, yet so flashy. It's true.
So flashy.
He can't be flashy. He has some of the biggest throws we've seen, and he's really improved over the last 5 years. He's done an incredible job to bring up his game to the next level and prove that he's consistent, but still make big plays at the same time.
I just see him making a lot of different plays consistently. I see him around the disc a lot, and he's throwing goals, he's catching goals, he's making the smart play. Hunsaker stalled out. Nice D from Ian Gear. I know it's a timeout. Good call from maybe if it prevented the stall on Hunsaker from the coaching staff of Philadelphia, Andre De Sabato and Sam Morgan.
Just a couple of minutes left here in the fourth quarter as we slowly start to wrap up this game. New York Empire versus the Philadelphia Phoenix. New York Empire currently up 22 to Philadelphia Phoenix's 13.
So again, the signs for the Empire, just great. Like they had that bye week. They had really disappointing loss down in D.C. for what must seem like the
Umpteenth
the
time.
umpteenth time. Technically, it's just every time. They
They
lost
really just like going into overtime against DC.
and losing.
and losing.
They lost twice last year in overtime. No, once last year in overtime. In the playoff, was that the playoff game, or was that just a 1-point playoff loss?
1 point playoff loss.
So 1 point playoff loss last year, overtime loss last year. This year, 2 overtime losses. One of them the double. It's been a broken record for New York. So it's great to have that bye week and come back and really show what their D is capable of doing.
Sure, and New York won't have the privilege of playing against DC in the next couple of weeks. They've played out their regular season games against them. They will have opportunities against other teams. They'll be seeing Philly again this year. They'll be seeing Montreal Royale, which we all keep saying is a must-win for them. They'll also be seeing the Toronto Rush, who they have never beaten, and a number of games against the Ottawa Outlaws. And you can never count out anyone that has Derek Alexander, one of the best throwers on the East Coast.
And Arsenal is one of the elite scorers for Ottawa. Esser. Esser shifts it through the middle. Nice play. Nice little throw there from Matt Esser. The break mark got it up to Ryan Forster, who found his man in the end zone. Kochinash.
Now, Esser's a guy I did have the privilege of playing against in college. And let me tell you, he did not have that throw 5 years ago.
Yeah, he was known as a big defender, but yeah, that he did not have that throw, correct. Yeah, he's really kind of made his game, an all-around game, which is great. They needed that. Now, it's turned into quite a nice day here. It was a pretty stifling earlier on.
A great little evening.
And
to
it's
see the
cooled
sun
down a
shining
little
through
bit.
The trees.
Anything
And
to say about this game, young man?
as Soren keeps bringing his dad treats, it's a sight to see on this great Father's Day. Thank you all for being here with us and listening in.
Yeah, Father's Day, it's kind of cool. You get, I don't know, I slept in this morning. I got to do that. Here's Aletta. That's Taylor Brooks, right?
Yep.
Same Taylor's 25.
Up
Little.
to Sam Little.
Back to Brooks. Brooks to Sam Taylor. As Roberts tried to get on that. Dross is a great release valve. Little ticky-tack foul on Marquez Brownlee for getting Dross on the wrist or on the arm there.
Mike really wanted to make sure the ref saw that, putting his arms up, going, what the heck, guys? Definitely hit at least the disc. That's still a foul. Oop. Gotta call it.
And it is called Taylor Brooks. Sam Taylor. Again, part of the Faceless Mob. These guys have been around the team for a while. Aletta. Brooks. Shifts it through the middle. Little wanted the around. Now sends to the sidelines. Stefan, as you had called earlier, they have kind of taken out some of their elite stars from this game now, it looks like.
It's a long season, Tony. You don't want to burn your guys out. There are a couple players in this roster who haven't necessarily gotten to play every game. Cat Stevens has sat out a few. Frank Wang, we just saw a great throw into the end zone to Cat Stevens. Also hasn't had the opportunity to play every game, and they want to be out here. They want to be playing professional Frisbee against some of the best in the country, and why not give it to the guys who have a real passion and have that fire to get there and get a good D or throw in a great goal when you can.
Well, Stevens, every game that Kocher's out there, Stevens should be out there. Because I mean, that's a real connection. Like they gotta keep that going. That's his 5th goal of the game for Matt Stevens right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we have the ability, but if I could call it now, that would be the connection of the game on behalf of the New York Empire. They've just been moving up and down the field together. Nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy, but getting it in the goal 5 to 10 yards out, and incredibly successfully, I might add.
So the pull from New York, it's kind of a nifty one actually if it stays in bounds, and it looks like it will. Nice hang time on that, and they'll come down in the zone. Oh, what a bid!
Ross
Huge
Ward
D.
coming down with it.
Wow. That's what you're going to get when you're get hang time on your pulls. That there's the reward right there. That's a 2-person play. Wodach with the pull and Ross Ward with the D. Clark Kofer up to Yacht. Nice crafty throw. Kofer dirty. Flips it to a wide open Jeff Babbitt. Jeff Babbitt with a shake and bake.
Making it look easy. And we mentioned that Jeff Babbitt is a former linebacker. Ross Ward is also a former football player that joins the New York Empire, having made the crossover about 4 years ago.
Did you ever play football, Stefan?
I am not built for football, Tony. I would get
You could
crushed
be a
out there.
receiver. You could be a wide receiver.
No. I grew up internationally. Football wasn't a thing.
So
in
soccer.
Each of the locations. Soccer was really big. Spent a couple years playing soccer. Swimming and tennis were my big sports growing up.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't like hanging out with people too much. So swimming and tennis allowed me to do my own thing away from anyone else.
Yeah, it's funny when people talk about different sports. There isn't really a one-to-one comparison when talking about team sports versus individual sports. I mean, they're just very different animals.
My first experience playing on a team sport was playing volleyball in the 8th grade. We went and won the Central Eastern European School Association's volleyball championships in 2003. Good times.
The Central European...
Yeah, a lot of words there. CISA, as they were known.
Whoa, look at this family of friends over here. He was open, so Marquez Brownlee put it to Scotty Zoo, but Bigot and Babbitt were both kind of lounging around out there like big lions in the jungle.
That's definitely not who you want to be matched up against in the end zone, no matter who you are.
The thing is, they were so off their men, but Yacht closes so fast, and obviously the frame he has, it's no contest.
30 seconds left here in the 4th quarter.
So Empire will close this game out on a great note. Just really excellent display of the defensive prowess that they've been able to hold on to from their studs. And Alaro dishes up to Ross Ward for the goal as they will add to their lead.
Philadelphia will have 8 seconds to try to put in this last goal and make it 25-15. New York has always been known to be successful whenever they can keep their opponents limited to 20 points or fewer. They've won a large majority of their games when they're able to do so. Now, we mentioned before, New York is not necessarily known for being a big, heavy offensive machine, but their D-line has come through today, and that's what they need to rely on for the rest of the season.
Well, notably, one of those losses that they did take, keeping an opponent under 20, was here against Montreal when they lost 19-16, I believe. So, and that's who they're looking up at. Again, we're not discounting Ottawa. Ottawa's got to come here next weekend. New York's got to beat Ottawa. Then they got to go to Ottawa and take on the Outlaws there, and then the Royale to get back into the playoff picture here. Last minute drop here from Philadelphia. Lamar will throw it into the end zone for Jeff Babbitt. Babbitt will get it on the rebound. Great way to end the game for the New York Empire. A hammer shot to Jeff Babbitt. He tips it up. He can't get it on the first one. Catches it for the end of the game goal. And that's going to be your final as New York really puts on a good show here. Closes out each quarter after a tie in the first quarter with both teams getting on the board easily and quickly. And this game goes New York's way very handily at the end.
Ben Yacht seeing his first win with the New York Empire here today. Excited to see what additional poise he brings to this New York Empire squad. And just looking at him on the field, he stands a full head amongst everyone else. Guys like Babbitt, guys like Wodach, he just towers above them all. But he can use his height like a lot of other tall guys can't. Generally tend to be downfield receivers who can get big over them. Yacht, on the other hand, is known for shooting it deep, so he provides a lot of firepower on both the front and back ends of the court.
Well, thanks for tuning in. Sorry again for the technical difficulties in the beginning. I hope you did enjoy the broadcast when we did get it up and running. And appreciate you watching here on AUDL New York Empire. On behalf of the Empire and the Philadelphia Phoenix Again, Ultimate's a great sport. We love that you get to watch, and we try best to put it on. We'll only get better on this, and the games are something to watch. There's a lot of excitement, a lot of action here, and we see the spirit here as New York Empire players come over to thank their fans for watching and for being here on this Father's Day in New York. We'll stay with it for a little bit longer, as I think they're going to do a little presentation. They usually give a little game disc to someone on each team. Let's see. I'm going to go with Stevens or Yacht on this for New York Empire. And let's see, Roberts for the Philadelphia Phoenix will sign the disc. Something kind of nice. He's going to throw it into the stand. Let's see if we get this one. Stefan, it's going to me. Tip it! Why is it that these kids always get the disc?
Sorry, Tony. You must have 100+ discs at home with your name on them.
I only have like 40. Chris Kocher throwing the next one. Oh, he drops it underneath to the little kid. He doesn't get it. Oh, he's got it now. Well, everyone's having fun here. As on this Father's Day, we see a young son here playing catch with Chris Kocher. You know what they say on these? You're the future World Games player, red-haired kid on the New York Empire pitch, playing with Chris Kocher.
And this is how I got hooked.
Yeah.
My first Empire game. Chris Kocher handed me a disc.
Folks, thanks for tuning in. We're going to let you go now and enjoy the rest of your end of your Sunday here, and have a great week.